And a very good evening to you, guys and gals. Welcome back to the ranch. This is Rough Rider with Controller Cowboys. And today we are going to be doing a beginning of a streaming series, actually, of The Darkest Dungeon on the Xbox. On June 19th, there is actually an expansion coming, another one. They've already recently had one called The Crimson Court, which is the expansion we'll be playing today. And basically the way the expansions work is they just add a new area. And new enemies, new items, new afflictions, and a couple new heroes actually as well. On June 19th, there's going to be coming with another update that's going to add a new area, the farm, and that's going to be adding more areas, more enemies, more loot, and I'm guessing more heroes as well. Not 100% on that. So as a lead up to that, we're going to be starting a series here where we're just going to play through the game. I've played a little bit of this. I think I got to week, oh geez, I don't know, 20 in a previous playthrough on my own account. So we're going to get right into it. And if you haven't played this game before, it's a really excellent game. I would suggest picking it up. I had quite a bit of fun with it. I didn't really get that much into it. I did watch quite a bit of gameplay on YouTube actually. And so what this is here is this allows us to add in and take out any extra content we want. So we could play the game in its vanilla edition if we so choose. But we're going to add the Crimson Court, the Districts, which is just allows you to upgrade your Hamlet more, the Flagrant, and the Shield Breaker heroes as well, because they're both interesting. Get into it. Radiant, you know, I feel like that just might not be enough for us. I've played a little bit of the game. I'm probably biting off more than I can chew here, but you know what? Let's do it. And we're gonna name this the estate name. Call it the ranch. Yeah. Going down to the ranch with the cowboys. And let's begin. I really like the art style in this game. It's very, I guess some people describe it as Lovecraftian, and just with the tentacles and the. I haven't actually read a lot of his science fiction, but after watching a couple of these scenes here, I'm gonna probably get more into it. It's something I want to read.
Leading only, I fear, to ever more
the narrator completely 100%
there is a sickness in the ancient
Wayne June, I believe his name is.
And on
The number of one-liners and it adds so much depth
violence
to like the situation to get into.
Other damnably
It's definitely a game about making the best of a bad situation. I've had times where just nothing goes right. You lose everyone in your party, get a complete wife.
The old road will take you to hell. But in that gaping abyss,
But it's all about balancing
we
risk and
will
reward,
find
right?
our redemption.
Once you've completed the objective for the dungeon, do you keep going? Do you go for more gold? Do you go for more paintings and sculptures and placards, which are what you use to upgrade your stuff in this game, along with gold. And you can also get gems and diamonds. And sorry guys, that was just my phone going off. Gems, diamonds, stuff like that. But it's all also about this game's a lot of things really. It's also about inventory management, so you have to bring along items with you as you're going into these dungeons to help you get through them. And sometimes you got to decide between taking food or taking treasure. And this is the Xbox One version, so we are going to get right into it. Start off with Reynold and Dismas, I believe their names are. Yes. The Highwayman and the Crusader. And if memory serves, yeah, this guy always starts with Kleptomania, which is one of the worst quirks I personally believe. It's annoying when they decide they're gonna, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna take all of your stuff this round. Moving on up.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Okay, well, we're gonna bleed him with Dismiss. There's a lot of customization in the, like, I believe each character has up to 8 skills. Yeah, combat skills. So oh no, 7 skills. Sorry, 7 skills that they can use, and depending on where they are placed in the party, it will change which ones they can use, who they can attack. So this one, and there's a lot of there's the bleed effects, which do damage over time, as well as blight, which also does damage over time. So when we're going to do a bleed attack on this guy, and we look down on the bottom right side of the screen there, and you get all of his resistances. So his stun, his blight, his bleed, his debuff, and his move. Move is actually a fairly valid tactical move in this game. Shuffling up a party can really throw it out of sync, and suddenly you have a healer who is in your back row, and he's suddenly in the very front of the party, and he can't do anything from there except spend his turn trying to move backwards and get out of the way. So this guy is only at 20% resistance to bleed, so we're going to bleed him. The Highwayman is nice for that. They have a lot of attacks that end up adding bleed. So that really, you get a couple of those stacking, and suddenly you guys are dropping 4 or 5 hit points per round. And that's one other thing with this game too. They don't use big numbers. I think I've only done the playthrough to about 20 weeks, so we haven't really gotten even into the game. And the highest HP I've seen on a boss was like 100. So they keep the numbers down, which I actually like when you're fighting a guy who's got 10,000 health and you're doing 1,000 a hit, and yeah, it starts too much math involved. Let's keep it simple. All right, what did we get from that guy? I got $100. Okay, that's not bad. Let's keep moving forward. Got ourselves a tent here. While exploring, you often find interactive objects. Press the A button to investigate them. Take a look at this tent. Okay, looking at the tent. Someone has recently camped here. Let's investigate. Oh, and they left some valuables. Fantastic.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
Move into the next little room. Oh, and a room battle. So the guy in front there is a large enemy, which means he's actually taking up the front 2 slots of the enemy lineup. Each side can have 4 people in it, and depending on where you are on each side, you can get attacked or attack certain people. For example, the open vein there, when you look at the description, in the top you've got the 3 yellow dots, and that means that he can attack from the front 3 positions, and he can attack the front 2 positions. His pistol shot can attack from the back 3 positions, so if he's in the front of the row, he can't actually use his pistol shot. And they can attack the back 3 slots, so it can't attack the person in front. Grape shot, it's got the red circles there with the line through it, so what that means is it'll attack all of those people, but it can only be fired from the middle 2 slots. So what are we gonna do? Let's bleed the big guy. Those damage over time effects, count on those. Those things will save your life. You get 1 or 2 of those stacked on a guy, and they start dropping pretty quick. So with this guy, we're going to use the Bulwark of Faith. So it's got a usage remaining on it, which means we can only use it once per fight. But it adds plus 20 to your torch, and the higher your torch level is, the more surprised and the less stress that your party gets, but also the less loot you get. The darker it is, the more loot you're going to get, but the monsters are going to have a chance of surprising you, and also you're going to get less gold. They say that the gold glints brightest in the darkest dungeon. I don't know who says that. I just did. Alright, so we're gonna buff ourselves with this. He also marks himself, so that means any enemy that has a mark attack will attack him with that. So it's kind of like a taunt almost. And it buffs us for 25%, so we're taking 25% less damage. And that's kind of the Crusader's role. He's the guy who's out front calling attention to himself, saying like, everybody hit me. Rain of whips. Dismas gets a dodge. Okay. That guy's got a bleed effect on him. You know, I want to keep stacking that bleed on this guy. Can't say enough how much you got to do that. Like stack the stuff. If you can stack one more bleed on that guy, he's taking 6 damage per turn, just without you even doing anything. Take some swings. You guys are gonna take damage in this. It's okay. A zealous accusation is that. Well, that attacks the 2 front rows, but that guy's occupying the 2 front rows. So let's stun him, slow him down for a sec. So now he's gonna miss his turn. They do have a chance to resist that. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy. Oops. There we go. So he's taking 4 damage per round for 2 more rounds. He's got 13 health left. Okay, we're gonna stack that once more. Ooh! Of course, there we get the critical. Oh yeah, the one-liners by Wayne June. Oh man, this guy just makes the game. It's fantastic. Okay, what are we gonna do here? We just gotta smite this guy. You have been smoten. And Disney will finish him off. I'm a really big fan of the Highwaymen. They're one of my favorite classes. I also like... the Houndmaster? Yeah, I think it was the Houndmaster. Or was it the Bounty Hunter? I like them all. I like them all. Alright. Take some of that stuff. After we've completed the quest. Now there is a treasure chest here, but I'm like 100% sure it's trapped. But you know what? We're gonna you know what? We'll give it to Reynold. We'll see what'll happen. A bandit trap chest. Something doesn't look quite right about this one. Can we use any of our... Another real cool thing about the game here is, so right now I can go into my inventory and I can use items in my inventory on chests and fountains and shrines and bookcases and all kinds of things. And right now these things have question marks over them, but if I use one and it works and it gives me some kind of unlock, it'll actually, that question mark down there will turn into a little treasure chest to let me know that if I choose this one on this certain curio, it's going to give me a treasure. And if it doesn't work, I'm pretty sure it gives me an X. You know what? Let's try this guy. That item had no effect. All right. Okay. What about anti-venom? That item also had no effect. All right. Well, that's all the items we can use. All right, now I'll take one for the team. It's trapped. Of course it's trapped. Oh, it was blight, but we resisted it. Well, that was handy. All right. Head to the hamlet. Picked up a little treasure there, more than usual, I think. All right. Resolve. Oh, so Dismas is going to get some kind of a trait, good or bad. Oh, good and bad. Look at that. He got calm, so he does less damage on the first round. And he does resilient, so 10% stress field. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another thing about this game. You take stress damage in it. So it's basically another form of damage. So you have casters and melee characters in the game who do attacks that don't do a lot of physical damage, but it'll do stress damage to you. And your heroes can take, they have a stress bar underneath their names, and it's basically, if you look at Reynold in the top right-hand corner there, you've got a little pip basically underneath his name. Each of those pips is 10 stress. So he's got about 10 stress right now. So when that gets up to 100, they will have a moment of crisis where they can either excel or they will like crack under the pressure. So they can get a good perk or a bad perk. And these perks tend to stick with them. And then once you're past 100, if you go all the way up again and fill the bars in, because right now they're just kind of outlines, it will actually kill your hero. As soon as you hit 200, they'll have a heart attack from the stress and die. I don't ever think I've had somebody have a heart attack and died. The flagrant are kind of they kind of thrive on being under stress, so you kind of play it a little more risky with them. But they also have ways to drop their stress off if need be. Okay, that's the first thing we're gonna do.
Women and men, soldiers
A
and
stagecoach.
outlaws,
This is where our heroes
fools
show up.
and corpses.
Okay,
All
so
will
we've got
find their way
Howard
to us now that the road is
and
clear.
Hugonin. Hugonin? Alright, well let's pick them up because
What better
they're all we got at the
laboratory than
moment.
the blood-soaked
they're
battlefield?
all I got. Let's upgrade the stagecoach though while I'm here. Increase the number of recruits available. Yeah, let's do that. So it's going to cost me 3 deeds and 4 placards, shields. And I've got 10 and 20. Let's do that. What else could I increase the size of the roster to 13? Yeah, I don't really need to do that quite yet.
Most
Graveyard
will
where
end
our
up here,
heroes go to die.
covered in the poisoned earth,
Embark!
awaiting
Alright.
merciful oblivion.
Awaiting merciful oblivion.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Oh yeah, you can play through all the... So here's kind of an outline of what we're going to need to do here eventually. Oh, that's the prologue, right. So every area kind of has a boss. Like there's the brigands, the Sodden, or the crew, unsubstantial flesh. Basically every area has a boss, and you're going to fight them at 3 different levels. And each time the battle is going to get progressively harder, but your heroes are going to be better equipped, better abilities, better items. Explore the courtyard. Oh yeah, Crimson Courtyard. I actually didn't have this set up last time when I played. I did my very first playthrough of this game with just the base content. So, alright, let's get into our first dungeon.
Your work
Guys
begins.
here. Put her right there. Right there. I guess I should look at the abilities. So the nice thing about when you go into their character sheets here is in the top right there you've got their combat skills, and just below that you've got the positions in the party they can be in, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it actually tells you with the skills you have selected right now which is going to be the best position for you to be in. So with the Witch Doctor here, or sorry, Plague Doctor here, playing too much Diablo, the abilities he has selected, most of them can attack from the back row. So the Noxious Blast is the back 3 rows, attacks the front 2 rows. Plague Grenade, back 2 rows, can attack the back 2 rows, both of them actually. Blinding Gas, yeah, so almost all of his attacks work from the back row. And the second back row? Yeah, and the second back row. So, okay, so he can actually be in position 4 or 3 just as effective. And then it also tells you the preferred target. So he doesn't excel at attacking the front people. He's for taking out the people in the back of the party. And a lot of times that'll be your casters and your archers. And so this guy can drop a whole bunch of damage over time effects, blinding glass, and disorient. Oh man, yeah, this guy's got a good selection. Okay, what else did we get? We got the Seeker Vesta, who's kind of like the priest, the cleric. So her preferred position, oh wow, she wants to be second in line, eh? So front 2, back 3, front 2. Heals the party. I need to be in attack. Okay, you're not gonna be attacking, ma'am. You're just gonna be sitting back and healing for now. At least until after the first quest, I believe, you unlock the tavern. And once you do that, then you can spend money to unlock the rest of your hero skills, and then pick and choose what you want. Alright, so the usual suspects. Some of the parties you select, like the Crusader, the Highwayman, the Plague Doctor, and the Vestal here, a name will pop up when you put certain specific groups together, it's usually a more powerful team. They really support each other really well, kind of work together. So this is going to be a short dungeon. So I'll bring 4 food. I mean, I guess I might as well bring 2 shovels. And the provisioning stage here. So with short dungeons, you're usually going to want to take I usually take 2 to 3 shovels, at least 8 food, depending on the area. Some areas are more prone to giving you food than others. Bandages, they're good for healing. They'll heal slight wounds between battles. You can also use them in certain areas. There's chests with thorns and razors on them, and you wrap your hands on them when you open a chest. But I don't think I'm really gonna need. You know, let's take one of each. 2 skeleton keys. Those are good for opening up chests in the ruins. Holy water. We already got one. We already got an anti-venom. A soothing tincture to injure one's mind against the horrors of the dark. Oh yeah, that's right. In later game, you can get the horror ability. Like you get the horror. What's the word I'm looking for? Status put on you. Sorry. And once you have that status, then I believe you take stress constantly, or more. It's more effective on you. And let's take 6 torches. This is just the beginning starter dungeon, so it shouldn't be too bad. Although we are in a harder difficulty mode than I'm used to going on. So, well, I played through once. Your first expedition to the ruins of your ancestry. Yeah, what a letter to get from your ancestor, right? You're sitting there one day living your life, and suddenly you get a letter saying, "Hey, by the way, you own a haunted hamlet, and they need you to come back and save them." Be like, yeah, I guess. Sounds kind of shady to me. I think I've seen this movie before. All right, and let's move on in. Oh yeah, I want to be careful about Reynold just because he's got the kleptomania quirk right now, which basically means he's prone to stealing items. So occasionally when I find a chest or something, he'll just, instead of me getting the items, he'll just take it. He's just like, nope, mine. I don't know if it helps having someone else selected while you pick up stuff, but we'll see how that works.
A fortune
Ourselves up a torch.
waiting to be spent.
Moving on up. Oh, and skellies. Alright. So, let's see. Let's do a blast of damage across all of them. Just kind of let them know we're here. This guy, can he even attack any of them? Yeah, just so into blast. What's that going to do? A stun. Oh, and it also clears corpses. What's this guy's resistance to stun? 10%? You're getting stunned, son. Oh, and it shuffles them too. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to keep that. You know what? Just heal the party 1 to 2. When it says 1 to 2, it means 1 to 2. Like I said, to keep the numbers low in this, which it took me a while to get used to, but I kind of like it now. So let's smite this guy while he's stunned. Yeah, so when you destroy a enemy, and say you use like a physical attack or something like that, they're going to leave a corpse behind. Basically what that's going to be is a placeholder that's kind of in your way. So if I had a guy who could only attack the front row right now, he couldn't attack this guy who's in spot 2 on the enemy side. I'd have to destroy the corpse first. Example, the exact situation I'm in right now. Oh no, I guess Noxus Blast. Let's do that, because that'll clear the corpse as well. And let's bleed him. Oh, no, he's got 200. That's right, so if you're fighting skeletons and stuff like that, they don't really bleed, because they have no blood. So 200% resistance to bleed. We'll just do a grape shot.
Their formation
That'll take him down. There we go.
Maintain the offensive.
Maintain the offensive. I love that guy's voice. It's awesome. Alright, so what do we got here? An unlocked strongbox. Well, if it's unlocked. Treasure! Yours for the taking. Now, so we got a shovel, some topaz, and $100. Okay. Oh, hey, we got a scout there, too. So every time you enter a room, I'm not sure what's the percentage. You have a chance to scout out the area ahead of you and kind of get a feel for what's going on. And you can also later on, you'll find items that will actually improve the chances of that happening. And also certain characters will get certain quirks where suddenly, when they're in the ruins, they have a 20% chance of scouting higher than, say, in the Weald. Alright, so let's head north. We have a Curio coming up here. A Curio. More of a barricade.
Even the cold stone
Or more a
seems
barrier,
bent on preventing
some would say.
passage.
Oh, it's a concrete barrier. The light is fading. Yeah, so if we let the light go out, if you hit the button there, so the light's down to 46 out of 100. So the stress they're going to take is increased. Monster accuracy and damage is increased, and the chance of my heroes getting surprised is greater. And if they get surprised, best case scenario, the enemy gets to go first. Worst case scenario, it shuffles my entire party around. So that's always a pain in the butt. I'm still getting plus to loot. Or I'm getting plus to loot because it's Dark Route, and I still have a +2 chance of surprising the monsters myself. So, okay, let's see. Disorienting Blast. We're gonna... This Occultist Acolyte. She's a stress caster, so her... of course she resisted. Her abilities don't really cause a whole lot of damage, but they cause stress. And as we talked about earlier, enough stress will kill you. It's just as good as being poisoned or stabbed. Okay, Dismiss, what are you gonna do? Let's do a shot across the bow. Just let everybody know we're still here. Stressful Incantation. 0 damage, 22 stress. Alright. We're gonna, yeah. We're gonna pull some damage to ourselves. That's where Radal kind of just screams out, "Everybody look at me!" Ooh, a critical. 10 hit points. That's a lot in this game. Because 6 is kind of a lot too. Ooh.
Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Oh, hush. Not even close to the end. This is... Ooh, dodge. That's right, we're playing on a harder difficulty. That gonna pull him too? Ooh, alright. What are we gonna do? Disorienting Blast. Come on. Yeah! I didn't stun her, but I got her moving forward. Throw a heal at a Plague Doctor. Ooh, yeah, good dodge. Is there anything? Some characters have abilities to let them move forwards and backwards. None of these guys currently do naturally. I'm just gonna get him back up front. And this guy... Get some damage over time going on her. So that stress is gonna start stacking. Ah, another 20. Okay. The Vestal's not happy. She's had better days. Ah, she's doing pretty good healing though. I almost just want to leave her there. Backing shot. Let's move him up. Get the Plague Doctor out of there. Let's do one of those. Yeah, okay, so the bite's gonna finish her off. Okay, what do we got? Back to... I bet if he's got 4 left, yeah, if we hit him with that, that should stop him. Let's see. 4 damage per round. Oh, okay. 3 rounds. So he's done, she's done. All we gotta worry about now is the guy in the back. So let's put a poison out into him. Oh, and Dismiss finishes him off. Warriors of the Light. Not exactly Final Fantasy, but we're kind of Warriors of the Light. Okay, let's Dismiss. That's the nice thing. When you pick a healing spell, it will automatically select the character that needs the most healing. Best is the weapon that cuts on its own, such as poison or blight. They can be fought. Oh, jeez. I was close. Okay, where are we? Oh, we're still moving to the room. Okay, so there's going to be nothing in here. What do we got? We got treasure to the north and a fight. And to the east, we just have a fight. Well, let's go to the north then. Looks like we're gonna have some kind of curio here. Ooh, a backpack. Oh, what was that? Am I keeping this? What? Is she a kleptomaniac too? Oh, I have 2 kleptomaniacs? You have got to be kidding me. That might be what I consider the most annoying trait. It's like she just took a bunch of busts and stuff that I really could have used. Oh, and I surprised them. I'm surprised. My torch is pretty low. Okay, let's see. What are you gonna do? Let's do a plague grenade. Oh, wait. Blinding gas. Disoriented. Well, shuffle, stun, clears all corpses. Work. Yeah. Wonder if we pulled her enough. The good thing about that skill is if you pull them enough out of their order, then she's not going to be able to cast her main attack. What are you? You're gonna bleed. Let's bleed her. Oh, of course she resisted. You are going to stunning blow this guy. Let's just keep everybody stunned. And you are gonna mass heal.
Passion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Stunned. Loss of 10. And so yeah, once you stun them, now they're gonna get a buff. So if you try and stun them again next turn, the chances of it go down every time you successfully do it. Oh, she can still do her... Ooh, good dodge, Dismas. Good dodge. Still do her stressful incantation from there, eh? Well then. Ooh, that won't do it all. I think Dismas took exception to that. And that's another kind of... One of the things I really like about this game is that, like, sometimes it's really tough and really unforgiving. But when you get that crit right when you need it, oh man, it feels good. Drop this guy out. Oh, but if I've completely lost count of the number of times that I have hit a guy and left him with 1 health. Like, are you kidding me? Let's see. He's already gone. So if you're looking at the characters, you can see a little white dash to kind of the right side of their health bar. That's whether or not that indicates whether or not they've gone yet. So if you look on my side, I'm going with Howard. Howard the Plague Doctor. I like that. I'm going with Howard right now, and the Vestal behind me hasn't gone yet. So that comes down to their speed, I believe. Although this guy's got 7 speed, so I think he'd be going sooner than this. So I didn't do any damage there, but I added a 4 damage per round, basically. And what's he gonna do? He's gonna heal Howard's. It's funny because he's kind of got a duck kill. Says Howard the Duck. Your hero is bleeding. Yeah. Is he bleeding? Okay. Do we have any bandages? Yeah. Oh, look at that. We do. So we can use a bandage on him. It'll stop the bleeding. And it doesn't use up a turn, which is nice. What's he gonna do? He's gonna do a great shot across the bow. That should drop that skeleton enough. Perfect. I kind of want to get another heal in. We'll see. Let's see if this works. Oh yeah, perfect. Alright. He needs some more. Let's give it to him. And you have a heal. He does have a self-heal ability you can get later on, which comes in handy. Right, what do we got? Gold, placards, paintings, and some topaz. Citron, portraits, and crests, placards. Shh. Shows what I know. Alright, what do we got here? Heirloom chest. So if it's an heirloom family chest, you unlock it with a skeleton key, and that will give you treasure every time. That's Rough Rider's guaranteed way to get treasure. Open an heirloom chest with a skeleton key. Okay, moving on to the next room. I'm gonna let the torch die down here, I think. It'll give us more gold, more
Secrets and wonders
treasure.
can be
Oh,
found in the most
and it'll
tenebrous
allow
corners
us.
of this place.
That was like instant karma right there. I was immediately proven wrong. Immediately. It seems to happen in this game more often than you'd think would be random. Oh, got another scout. Nice. So we've got a curio on the other side of this door. So our goal here is to explore 90% of the rooms. So basically what that means... Oh, nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Go back in there. So like we start here, we kind of just work our way along. As long as we explore 90% of these rooms, then we're going to complete the dungeon. So this room here, they got a trap right there, and they've got a room battle. Oh, a room battle with a curio. You know, maybe we'll go after that. Why not? You know what? Getting cocky here. So we're going to have a trap. So since we spotted it, you can actually see it on the ground there in front of us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my Highwayman Dismas. And once I get close enough, as soon as you see that purple thing pop up, disarming traps. You click on him, and he's going to disarm it. And, oh, crap, I was going to show you. When you hit the trigger and go over your people, it'll actually tell you the percentage of a chance you have of disarming the trap. Highwaymen are usually good at it. I think bounty hunters are as well. Alright, so we got a room battle with a curio here. Oh, it's a shrine. Ooh, you know what that's going to do? If we put holy water in that, it's probably going to drop some stress. So I think I might do that to my Vestal. Alright, first things first. Pistol shot. Minus 25 damage, plus 10% chance to crit. 25 damage versus marked. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mark this guy.
Such a terrible
Ooh.
assault cannot be left unanswered.
Nice critical. Jeepers. Okay. What are you going to do? Let's start... Blinding gas to sorting glass. Let's see if we can get this guy in the front. There we go. That'll mess them up ever so slightly. You are gonna... I want to keep the torch down. Smite. Let's smite this guy. Yeah! Yeah, the Crusader's pretty good against, as you would guess, undead. He's a pretty good ruins hero. Certain heroes do better in certain areas, just depending on their skills and whatnot. Okay, you're gonna heal Dismas, because that guy took a hit. Graveyard slash. Oh, 10. Wow. You know what it is? It's because the torch is down. That's why. That makes sense now. I knew I was going to eventually figure it out. So let's see. Let's do a pistol shot. That guy. You are going to poison that guy, because I'm pretty sure that archer can't do much except for a basic little attack from the front there. 4. That'll help. Oh, can he even attack from there? Let's do this. Let's stall for some time. Oh, it's going to bring our torch up ever so slightly. You're going to poison this guy. I want to get another heal out of this if I can. Brave shot blast. Yeah, why not? We'll do a small amount of damage. There we go. A heal on that guy. Ooh, 5. Yeah, we needed that. There we go. Oh, he's got a bayonet jab. Figured he'd have at least one of them. Well, let's take him down.
Obliterated.
Ooh, 21. Nice. Okay, what do we got? Gold. 13. Oh, what's this? Onyx. Worth 500 gold each. So yeah, the crystals and stuff are going to be worth different amounts. So like, sometimes you have to balance taking 5 of one that are worth 250 versus 1 of another that's worth 500. So if later on in the dungeon we're all full and I decided to take the small one over the big one and I start finding more big ones, then I've got to make a decision at some point whether I ditch the small one. It's all kind of a game of balance. Oh, hey, it looks like it's spontaneity there. The game is going good, buddy. We're playing in the darkest setting, so Haven't actually played on this difficulty yet. I'm doing the Crimson Court expansion. Okay, what are we going to do here? So we got a shrine. Oh, actually, I'm going to pick... So with the shrine, I'm pretty sure if you put holy water in it, it will either heal them or relieve their stress. I think it relieves their stress. I'm hoping it relieves their stress because this lady is stressed out. So let's use that. Divine benefit. Yeah, there we go. 20 stress relief. Ooh, we needed that. So we've got, we got a curio right here in the middle. Let's go get that. Oh no, crap.
Wealth beyond measure.
The journey goes well, except for the fact I have 2 kleptomaniacs in my party. So now what we're going to do here, I'm just going to back up since the room is fairly close, but your heroes will actually take stress from backing up too far of a distance, because they can't see what's behind them, and they're, afraid. They're in a dungeon. They've got a right. So now we're going to move up to this last room here. We got one more curio in the halls here. Oh.
The darkness holds
Simply
much
must...
worse than
What?
trickery
No.
and boogeymen.
Oh. Okay, he doesn't have kleptomania. He's got another one. Like, he'll be obsessive compulsive or something, so every time he sees a backpack, he has to open it. Oh. That's, yeah. You don't really need the food, but you can, between battles, really the only way to heal is bandages or food, making people eat food. But they can only eat so many times before they're just like, no, I'm good, I'm full. So just feed that to them. Take those and take those. What are his quirks? He's curious. Ugh. Obsessed with the acquisition of knowledge. Okay, so anytime he sees something he thinks might contain knowledge, he's got 15 move resistance. Oh, and he's a wheel tactician. 15 damage in the wheel. Who's this guy? Oh, he's not allowed to gamble because he's a known cheat. It does minus 15 damage in the first round. So first round I should really be doing something else. Stress healed, quick reflexes. Okay. Alright, moving on. Occasionally in a dungeon as well, you're going to hit food tiles. I believe they're randomly placed, but basically what this means is your party it's going to randomly just get hungry. And this happens more in some places than others. And if you don't have enough food to feed your party, then basically you have to hit starve, and they're all going to take damage. Luckily, we brought enough food with, so some of them will heal a little bit more. They'll have perks like they heal more from eating food, but they'll also have perks like Ravenous, where for them to actually get full, they have to eat double rations. So that just starts eating into your food reserve. So you always want to make sure, in short dungeons, I always try and make sure I have at least 2 food tiles worth of food on me, just in case. So we finished the dungeon now technically, but I know for a fact down there's another room that has more treasure in it. So we're gonna go for the treasure. I love treasure. I think in this playthrough I'm gonna be a little more bold than I maybe usually am. Just to keep it interesting. So we got a fight here, right? Yeah, we got a fight. And we're in the complete dark, so they got a bit of an advantage. Okay, so he's doing minus 15 damage. So let's... Ooh, lots of loot. Their accuracy and damage is increased. Stress is way up. You know what, let's put a torch up. We've already got a fair decent amount of treasure. Ah, there we go. I want that stress to be 0. There we go, full torch. We're gonna get less treasure, but we've already got a decent amount. I don't want to get too greedy. I don't want all of my main heroes to be completely too stressed out to go into the next dungeon. So, alright. We'll start off with... We'll mark this guy. This is our stress dealer right there. He just comes in and starts throwing his wine around on everybody. Lush. Okay, blinding gas. The nice thing about fighting a full party is you really get to make use of all your guys' abilities. Double blight for the win. Yeah, damage that heal. And like, if all of you are in a dungeon and all of you guys are hurt, like, it's not a big deal. Seriously. I mean, it's just, like, at any point now we could pretty much leave. We'd have to leave this fight, but and going back, like, your heroes can walk out of the dungeon with 1 health, and like, they don't need time to re-heal or anything. The only thing that's really going to affect that is their stress level. So I've had parties come out where everybody is on death's door. Okay, so what are we going to do with this guy? We're going to have this guy pull some damage, hopefully, and people will attack him instead of the other guys. And yeah, let's heal this guy up. She does. The Vessel does have other abilities that allow her to do some damage from the back range, but unfortunately, she didn't have them on when we picked her up from the stagecoach. The next, I believe it's after this mission, we're going to open up the area that will allow us to, the building that's going to allow us to actually change her abilities. So you know what? I'm gonna go for another double blast, a plague. Oh yeah, there we go.
Unforeseen, unforgiving.
I'm gonna have you grape shot. Let's do a pistol shot. Yeah. Protection is 25. Protection is 15. Let's take a shot at this guy. He'll take. Oh, so close. Said the number of times. 1 health point left, but he'll be dead next turn, so we don't really need to worry about him anymore. Let's do a group heal here, keep everybody saucy. Well, I'm gonna, you know what? Let's stun this guy. Take a little bit of the wind out of his sail, as it were. Finish him off. Their archer is gonna go down as soon as his turn hits. Gonna heal everybody. Alright. And let's drop a blight on that guy. Critical blight. Oh, it stays on for more rounds? Is that how that works? Interesting. And let's just smite this guy. A good smiting. Oh, so close. Dead weight. Oh, that was a move and a stun. But Dismas resisted. Pistol shot? Oh, of course you can. Grape shot. Oh, yeah, let's do that. That should take him out. There we go. And what do we got? We got Jade and we got Gold.
And driven into the mud.
Oh, I really hope these guys don't do their kleptomania thing on chests like this. That's going to get really old really quick. I'm just going to let Dismas do all the looting for now. Take those, and take those. And that is it for our first dungeon. Not bad. Got a little more stress than I was hoping there, but I think this playthrough I'm going to be having to deal with stress a little bit more, just because I'm playing on a higher difficulty, as well as I'm a little more confident in my abilities this time, so that should lead to hopefully some more exciting gameplay. Hopefully I just don't, wipe in the second episode. That would be really anticlimactic. So what do we got here? War and Adventure. Ooh, minus 20 is stress and war. Is a Ruins adventure. Oh, a lot of adventurers. Minus 20 stress. Weak grip on life. Oh. So yeah, the way death works in this game is once you get to 0 health, you have a death blow resistance. I think the standard is like 60 or 70%. So that basically means every time an enemy hits you at 0 health points, you have a 70% chance of surviving. So 7 out of 10 blows, you'll survive, but 3 out of 10 they'll. And sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. The way you get that, basically, you get any amount of health. If you even get 1 health hit point and they nail you for 20 points, all you do is go back to death's door. But once you've been on death's door, you're more prone to dying quicker. And what else to see? Ruins Tactician. Okay, so he does more damage in the ruins. Perfect. That's good, because I'm going to be in the ruins for a little bit. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to be my first episode of my playthrough here of Darkest Dungeon, the Crimson Court. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been Rough Rider from Controller Cowboys. We're going to be doing this series Tuesday and Thursdays from 7 o'clock, probably to 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on how the episode goes. But once again, thank you for joining us, and we are going to be doing this playthrough up until... I think I'm going to play this up to June 19th when the new expansion comes out. That's going to be adding the farmland area, and then we're going to switch over to that. All right, guys, so once again, thanks for joining me. Have yourselves a fantastic Tuesday evening, and I will see you later on in the week. Rough Rider out.